Welcome back to another video, everyone. I'm Zisha, that's Jay. We're here for another video to talk about more, of course, about sports when you're clocked out. So, let me just ask Jay, the Chiefs. I know we already talked about them. They're rolling and they shut out the Raiders. Super Bowl contender?
Yeah, you know what? This is the funniest part because I was just pointing out yesterday. I think was it Colin Cowherd? I forgot who it was, and it was some ESPN show or some show like that. And the caption was, it might even been McAfee. It was like the caption was, "Are the Chiefs the best team in the NFL?" What kills me about these media outlets is how do we go from is the Chiefs dynasty over to are the Chiefs the best team in the NFL in a matter of 2 weeks? It makes zero sense. I think the Chiefs are always going to be Super Bowl contenders because they're the Chiefs. It's like you always have to watch out for them. But like, I'm not convinced because they beat up on the Raiders, that they're like supposed to be like these Super Bowl contender, best team in the NFL titled guys. I just don't see that personally.
Obviously, the NFL's a week-to-week basis, and the media's got to stir up some kind of drama, some kind of storyline. So that's why they say that. And the Chiefs didn't look good the first 3 weeks of the season. They didn't have their guys. Now they have the receivers back, and they look much better. So I would argue the depth is better than it's ever been in terms of weapons-wise. Kelsey's not the same, but he's still a reliable target. You still got Pacheco and Kareem Hunt, running back by committee. You got Xavier Worthy stretching the field. Obviously not as good as Tyreek, but still he stretches the field. He's a speedster.
He's better than Tyreek this year.
This year, yeah.
Tyreek ain't playing.
Hollywood Brown's their gadget kind of guy. He's fast, he's explosive, he'll work the slot. And Rashee Rice, he's their possession guy. He's their volume guy. And also Juju Smith-Schuster, yes, he's washed, but he knows their system, and he still finds ways to get open in Andy Reid's offense, and he's still a reliable target. What I mean in terms of depth, they have more depth than they did 2019, 2020's offense. Even though those offenses had prime Tyreek, prime Kelsey.
Yeah.
They just have more depth.
Yeah.
So, one more thing.
I just don't know. I mean, it's hard to really gauge when they've only really beaten. I mean, what was it, 30? I had to go to my notes about this. What, 31-0? I mean, demolition, absolutely, of course. I think that they made a statement that they are not the team that. Now, if they went out there and struggled against the Raiders, that was one thing, but it was a statement win. Once again, though, I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? I think the AFC is still kind of wide open, and it's not going to be a clear shot either way. And I think it's more to say about the Raiders than the Chiefs. I think the Raiders just look overall lost in this situation this year. They just are just not having it. There's nothing looking good about the Raiders right now. So that being said, you got Patrick Mahomes, you got one of the best coaches, if not the best coach of all time, in Andy Reid. You got that situation brewing over there. Yeah, you're gonna go and beat up on a Raiders team who does not know what the fuck it's doing week from week. So
let's move on. Let's go to the Lions and Bucks last night. Lions bottleneck MVP frontrunner Baker Mayfield's only 9 points for the game. Lions look good. I've been saying this. You've been saying this. Lions have an elite roster. Yes, they lost both coordinators, but it seems like they're just picking up where they left off last year.
Yeah. I mean, they stay hot, 24-29. Sorry, 24-9, in that game. And I think that the Lions really needed that game to kind of get their momentum back. I think that I really enjoy the culture shift in Detroit. And I love how they have kind of shifted in the last few years to a winning culture. Is Jared Goff, I still will say, like I said last year, is Jared Goff the guy who's going to get you all the way to the big game and get you to win it? I don't think so. But he will be the guy who gets you to the playoffs. He will be the guy who even might be able to win you a playoff game or two ultimately to probably be defeated by, I think, a more complete and better team. But what I will say is Amon-Ra St. Brown is probably one of, if not the best receiver in the league. And you got Jahmyr Gibbs, who impresses every year, every week. So yeah, I mean, honestly, once again, I think it goes back to the Bucs not looking prepared, not looking ready, looking lost. And I think this might be the start of a little bit of a slide for the Bucs. I
Yeah,
think that, yeah,
they lost Mike Evans. They don't have the Bucks don't have as talented of a roster compared to the Lions, right? So the Baker needs to play much better. Goff played better. And I have to disagree. I think Goff is the guy. Goff needs a few things. He's not Mahomes. He's a very good quarterback. Since the trade to the Lions, he's won more games and has better stats than Matthew Stafford. Even though Stafford has the ring, okay? Goff went to the Lions and helped transform the culture and changed it from a poverty franchise to a playoff contender, Super Bowl contender team. So you gotta give Goff credit. He went to a Super Bowl. He's won a lot of games. I still believe Goff is the guy. Now, you still need an elite O-line, still need a good running game so Goff can use the play action and work off that, right? But they have that. As long as they have that, the Lions always have a chance to win. And I believe Lions will have a chance to win the Super Bowl this year once again.
maybe it's possible. We'll see what happens. I mean, the Super Bowl, people forget, like the Super Bowl is a very difficult place to even get to, let alone win it. You know what I'm saying? You got to deal with a lot of different hurdles, and I'm saying maybe it's possible you can, go around those hurdles on the path to the Super Bowl, but it's not like an easy feat. So we'll see what happens, but I think the Lions are going to have to face a lot more adversity before they're actually ready to win a Super Bowl. We'll see though.
Let's go on to our teams. Go ahead, Jay.
boy. To all those Jalen Hurts haters out there who claims he can't throw against a top defense, he can't throw against a top secondary, I want to say, fuck you people. You want to know why? Because at the end of the day, matter of fact, not fuck you. I want you to keep throwing hate this man's way. I want you to keep doubting him, keep saying the negative things about him, because every time you do and he gets wind of it, he goes off. I love it. Perfect passer rating. I have to find my notes. I forgot exactly. I think he threw for 326, 19 for like 24. Yeah. 19 for 20. I mean, this guy went out there and he played like an MVP candidate, and he proved the people wrong that said that he can't pass against a number one pass defense in the league, and that's what the Vikings are.
So, Jalen Hurts has been proving me wrong a couple times this year. The Rams second half and now this game. I do want to give credit where credit is due. He's being handcuffed by Kevin Patullo and Nick Sirianni's offensive scheme. I will give credit through 3 tutties. He threw the dagger to A.J. Brown. It was a zero blitz. Threw it to him. A.J. Brown beats Isaiah Rodgers. Yeah. Kudos. Saquon Barkley in the run game does not look good. Saquon looks very mid this year. I have no idea what's going on. Is it the creativity, the scheme? I'm going to blame it on the scheme because I know what Saquon can do. Maybe you really are missing Mekhi Becton more than you think. Did want to point out, so I made a short last week, the day after the Eagles lost to the Giants, and I made a short making fun of Jalen Hurts throwing the ball over the middle. Now, Jay, I know this is not directed towards me, but my criticism of Jalen Hurts is he does have limitations, number one, as a passer. Number two, it's more about throwing in the intermediate level 2 area, zipping the ball across the middle. I've never said he has a good deep ball. We've seen that. He does throw the check down. He does make some smart plays. But when he has to throw it in tight windows or even across the middle, he has limitations there. But, Hurts has proven he can win, and he is a very good quarterback.
It's not unfair to say that, he might. I mean, he might have a little bit of, and I think I see what you say. Sometimes I'm frustrated with Jalen for the simple fact that I think you said it, and you said it, and a couple of people have said it. It's not just you. That he just doesn't have that zip on the ball. You know,
Mhm.
like when he gets it out there, it's like it's just floating in the air a little too long for my liking. Even on like the laser throws, you know what I'm saying? It's just like he doesn't have a lot of. It's not that he doesn't have arm strength, but it's just like the flick is not there or something,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
So that is a criticism of him that, you know, it does bother me a tad bit, but I will say this: he goes out there, he makes it work. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what the best quarterbacks do. They make their style work with the offense and work with the weapons they have around them, and in turn, you win the game. You know, and I think that is the main thing. I think that Jalen always says, keep the main thing the main thing. And that's become the culture in Philly. Keep the main thing the main thing. We don't give a shit how it looks. And that's what we try to tell people, like week after week after week. I don't give a damn if Jalen goes out and throws for 2 yards. If that 2 yards was a touchdown pass that won us the game, I'm happy. I'm good. I'm going to
Well,
continue to sing praises to my quarterback.
well, you're a fan, right? As a fan, the ultimate thing is winning. So I get it from a fan's perspective. Sometimes when I argue, okay, when I was arguing with Danny, he got really heated. Okay. Danny, you're watching this, whatever. You got heated, bro.
You got mad, Danny, if you're watching this.
You got mad. Now, Danny said Hurts is the second best quarterback in the league, ahead of Allen, Lamar, Burrow, because Jalen Hurts has won a Super Bowl. Now, I was trying to say I was trying to contextualize it, and I was trying to argue from a GM standpoint, not from a fan standpoint. From the fan standpoint, it's all about winning, right? That's the number one thing. Fans don't care about anything else, really.
Well, so let me just I'm gonna let you finish, but let me kind of put a little more salt on that. Not only from a fan standpoint, from a coach and player standpoint too.
Right. Okay. Yeah. You're right. But Danny was in fan mode. Just want to say that.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So he said Hurts is the second best quarterback because he won, because he has the Super Bowl MVP. On paper, maybe. And he was like saying stats don't matter. Josh Allen can't win the big game. I've been saying this forever. His head coach is holding Josh Allen back. That's why the Bills haven't gone over the hump. It's had Sean McDermott. And Josh Allen does everything he can. Josh Allen's stats are amazing. They're elite.
Yeah,
He's an elite quarterback.
not this year. They're not that great. They're okay. He had one great elite game.
It goes back to coaching. I'm going to keep arguing because Josh Allen, you just watch him and he makes plays and throws that are just unbelievable. You're just like, yo, no one else can make that. That's why, for me personally, the talent, like your talent and your ability to make superhuman, Superman type plays, is gonna outweigh some of the other stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's why, like, I would personally pick Caleb Williams over Brock Purdy right now, just because of Caleb Williams' Superman ability.
I literally don't even know what Brock Purdy's doing this year. I mean, I literally...
He's injured. He's been injured for...
Yeah, I have not checked up on the 49ers whatsoever, and as a sports analyst, I feel bad for that, but I just checked. I haven't checked up on them at all.
They're doing good. But let me just... This is my point that I'm trying to get at. Let me ask you this, as an Eagles fan. If Jalen Hurts was on the Bills, you swap Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts, Danny would say that you would not hear who Patrick Mahomes is. You would not hear the Chiefs, or the Chiefs would not be relevant. The Bills would have three-peated. Do you agree with that statement?
I'll say this.
You go back to 2021, you swap Hurts and Josh Allen. All the way back, 4 years ago.
Listen. I don't know if I agree with that statement. For the simple fact that, well, it's just hard. I don't like these questions. And the reason I don't like these questions, and I don't like these hypotheticals, is because that's not the situation. So when someone asks me these hypothetical questions, like, well, if Josh Allen was on the Eagles with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, he would have da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, but we don't know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know. All we can go off of is like, okay, maybe some football knowledge, some pseudo stats and da-da-da. But like, we don't know how Josh Allen it's a lot that goes into play, and I think as fans we don't take into account that there is a lot that goes into play. The fact that would Josh Allen match the Eagles scheme? Would the coaching fit? Would the chemistry of him and the offense mesh correctly? Like, would it work? You know what I'm saying? We don't know that. All we could say is, well, Josh Allen is great, and so was A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. So if you put those three together, then da-da-da-da-da. All I'm saying is this. Jalen Hurts has proved from the time that he was in college until now that if you underestimate him, he will make you pay for it. That's just what it is. I mean, they benched him in the national championship for a guy who can't even form a sentence because his brain is mush right now. You know what I'm saying? Imagine saying now that Tua is better than Jalen Hurts. Imagine saying that. You
Back
know,
then in college,
maybe.
back
Yeah.
then.
Back
Maybe,
then,
maybe
maybe.
it was definitely true. It was definitely true. It was Tua was like the number one pick kind of thing.
Let me say this. Back then, in that moment, people
Yes.
also forget that football is about moments. That's why Josh Allen could throw for damn near 400 yards week one and then turn around a week ago and throw for less than 200. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all about being in the moment and momentum and where you are as a team and as a player. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to belabor it, and I don't want to like spend too much time on one thing. But what I will say is that everyone's allowed to have a bad game. Everyone's allowed to have a bad year. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so what if we looked at Josh Allen's game the last 2 weeks and said, oh, okay, well, Josh Allen sucks. Like, that's ridiculous. Does Josh Allen suck because he had 2 bad games? No, he doesn't. He had 2 bad games. He might go on to have a horrible season. Maybe they don't even make the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the Bills do make the playoffs, but theoretically what I'm saying is just like, we don't know. It's all about moments and momentum.
I'll just say this. I love hypotheticals because I find that very fun. I don't think you're answering this hypothetical because I think it will discredit Jalen Hurts and you're a big Eagles fan. I think that to an extent. Now, I might be wrong, but I think that's why you're not answering this question.
I am answering the question. I said I don't know that it's true. I don't. It's hard to gauge it. It's just like,
Just like this is how I gauge it. Who do you play with? Who's your coach back then? Right? Like you said, Sirianni and like Steichen and Moore have tailored the offense to fit Hurts, right? The
Yes.
RPO, the run game.
Yeah.
Now, they might do something different with Josh Allen if Josh Allen was there. They might throw more, right? But also, Josh Allen has only had one lead. This is kind of how I think of it. Who you play with, who do you throw to? Tom Brady and Randy Moss. You would think those two would never get along, but they did somehow. Tom Brady, the straight A student, Randy Moss, the cocky jock, they got along.
Yeah.
And it worked. They didn't win, but they broke records. That still counts for something. I would just say Josh Allen has only had one elite receiver, Stephon Diggs, in his career. Jalen Hurts has 2 right now. So I believe with an additional elite receiver on Josh Allen's team, whatever team that be, he would do much better and win at least 1 or 2 Super Bowls. That's how I think of it.
Hey, well, I'm sorry. Play for a team that doesn't suck at the front office and drafts well. I don't know what to say. I mean, it's not. It's. Here's my main point about this entire thing, and then we can move on to something else. My main point about this entire thing is like, it shouldn't be a slight to a quarterback to have weapons around him because that's what football's supposed to be. It's like it's that if we go back to the debate about LeBron and Jordan, right? Like, we are going to talk about that on another show, another day. But let's just make a quick little parallel, right? Like, why does it make Michael Jordan less of a great because he had Scottie Pippen?
I'm just saying there's levels to this. You agree with that statement. There's levels to everything. So when I say like Joe Burrow's run to the Super Bowl, like that year, with the Bengals was more impressive than Jalen Hurts' first one. What I mean is Burrow had deficiencies on his roster. Bad O-line, okay? He had a terrible O-line. And he got the Bengals to the Super Bowl. He won an extra game to get there.
So
Okay.
are the Eagles the best team in the league?
Well, I'm talking last year when they won, they had the best roster, right?
Did they?
Yeah. Who would you
Okay,
say?
well, I'm sorry. The reason I say that is because it seems like the arguments always change, and I'm not talking about you because we just started debating this stuff because we just met not long ago. But like the arguments seem to always be like, so if we're talking about, okay, if you see a meme that says who's the best receiver, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, AJ Brown, or whatever other receiver, it doesn't even matter. No one ever picks AJ Brown. They're always like, "Oh, Justin Jefferson's better. Jamar Chase is better. This person's better.
You might
Everyone's better."
You might go with individual. Maybe they'll pick Chase over Brown, but top wide receiver duo, definitely top two, if not the best.
Yeah, well, but that's what I'm saying. Like, oh, well, this Amon-Ra's better. This person's better. That person's better. Basically, AJ Brown. If you're arguing with a Dallas fan or anyone else in the NFC East, they're going to put AJ Brown at the bottom of a top 5 list if they even put him on the top 5. Well, the same thing with Smitty. Well, who's the best number 2? Is it T. Higgins? Is it Devontae Smith? Is it It's like, oh no, it's definitely not Devontae Smith. Okay, so there we go. He's not number 1 there either. So every time you talk about these people, the only one they ever gave credit for being the best at any position was Saquon Barkley.
No, the O-line. No, don't do that. The O-line, your defense. Jalen Carter's definitely like top 3 D tackles.
He's been quiet this year.
But last year he was your whole defense.
Mm-hmm.
He was the main focus.
Yeah.
He disrupted the interior pressure. What I'm saying is, like, when you have deficiencies on your roster, can you elevate everyone else around you? And can you elevate your play to get your team there? What I'm saying is Jalen Hurts last year, when he had all those pieces, he had the best running back last year. He had definitely an elite O-line. He definitely had elite weapons. Definitely had elite defense. You saw what the defense did in the Super Bowl. It's like he got that. He won. Yes, he's proven he can win with that. What I'm saying is, can he win with some deficiencies on his roster? Right now, the running game is a deficiency. So it's looking like he can. But do you know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm. Like, I see what you're trying to say.
What I'm trying to say is, like, how good you are is what I base off. If how good you can carry your team, how good can you carry how can you backpack your team, elevate your roster, and make everyone else around you better? That's how I see greatness. When we talk about, I don't want to talk about Braun because this is football, Go back to Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow had a shitty O-line. The Titans in that playoff game sacked him 9 times, yet Burrow found a way to win that playoff game. And that's greatness right there. That's what I mean. So the running game's not working, and Hurts and the Eagles are still trying to find ways to win game. And I'm giving them credit for that because there are some deficiencies with this Eagle roster compared to last year.
Yeah, a lot of deficiencies, especially given the fact that we lost a good amount of our defense. We have to bring back Brandon Graham, which, breaking news, everybody, we're bringing back Brandon Graham, the 37-year-old edge rusher.
He's a leader for the locker room, and that's about it. Mid pass rusher at best.
Hold up, wait a second. What do you mean?
He's mid. He's
mid. Brandon Graham's mid?
Right now, he is mid.
We don't know that. He hasn't played since February.
He retired. Look at his stats are like mid at best. He had like 1 or 2 maybe good years. Everything else has been mid. He's a rotational pass rusher.
Brandon Graham was one of the best Eagles defensive players of all time.
That's because of longevity.
He's been a fucking... What do you mean? Ah, man. What are you talking about?
Even right now, he's mid. Right now, he's old, right? He's 37.
Right now, he hasn't played since February. I mean, listen, I'm going to be realistic. My concern is that this is honestly it's a win-win for the Eagles. It is a win-win for the Eagles because, okay, Zadarius Smith retires in the middle of the year, okay? You bring back Brandon Graham, a locker room leader, a guy who is a difference maker on the defense, a guy who has spent years knowing this What you're making it seem like Brandon Graham is some nobody who just like has never done anything.
You're making it seem like he's Myles
literally
Garrett. He's not a playmaker. He's a good. He's a rotational player.
Hold up.
He's had double-digit sacks 1 year. 1 year. It's his longevity. But even then, he's had 9.5 sacks in 2017, 8.5 2019. That's it. That's really like he had like 3 good years. Everything else has been mid. He's a decent player. It's not like you're getting Myles Garrett. If you got Myles Garrett, I'd say you win the Super Bowl. You're winning the Super Bowl. Like,
we're not winning that.
If you had Myles Garrett, it'd be like it's over, bro. It'd be almost over. But you're acting like this is Myles Garrett. This is Brandon Graham
on top of me.
Yes, he's gonna be in the Eagles Ring of Fame, but like you acted like he's a Hall of Famer,
bro. 76.5 sacks in his career, 487 tackles in his career, 23 forced fumbles in his career. I mean, I had to look this up because I couldn't give you off the bat. So he was in the Pro Bowl. He was only it looks like he was in the Pro Bowl like once or twice.
Yeah.
But remember something. He's one of those guys who makes the plays. Like, for example, he was a key part of us winning the Super Bowl against the Patriots. Okay? It's that strip sack. Like, come on, man.
I give him credit, but he's also 37. He hasn't played since February. So, like, when I say he's mid, it's not like saying he's bad. I'm just saying, like, he's not going to be what you expect.
I don't expect him to be a game wrecker, but I expect him to bring some knowledge to the defense and help mentor up these young guys and get in there and change the game every now and then. Yeah. I mean,
I agree with your first statement. He's going to come in, coach them up, be a leader, but to make a play to win the game, I don't think he's that guy anymore.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, bro. By the way, that strip sack was 8 years ago.
Don't run it was 8 years ago.
Von Miller had a strip sack. Von Miller sacked Joe Burrow 6 years ago. You act like Von Miller. Von Miller's the better player. We signed him. He hasn't done anything.
Who?
Von Miller. We signed Von Miller. Von Miller's a Hall of Famer. Yet you brush that off. It's like, yo, he's old. He's washed. He kind of is.
He hasn't done shit.
Yeah, same with Brandon Graham. He hasn't done anything lately.
The Super Bowl.
So it wasn't like he was the main reason. But he didn't. Was he the main reason? Are you gonna say Patrick McCaw is better than Kevin Love because he has 3 rings and Kevin Love has 1? Oh, come on, what are we doing? What are we doing? He's a role player.
Let's talk about the Commanders. Let's talk about the fucking Commanders and talk about. Hey, listen. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. On a serious note, speedy recovery to Jaden Daniels. That it didn't look too good on the leg. That tackle he took. Hopefully it's not like a tear. I don't know if I didn't see any injury reports or anyone did any updates. See,
it's not serious. Had the MRI. Probably. I don't think he's gonna play next week against the Chiefs Monday night. It's not looking too good for the Commanders, especially if Jaden can't play. What I will say, this is not Jaden's fault at all. The O-line doesn't have cohesion. Sam Cosmi, our best O-lineman, just came back from an ACL tear. We were moving guys around. Coleman's been deactivated. Our 3rd-round pick, left tackle last year, moved to left guard. Now he got benched for Chris Paul. Josh Connerly, our 1st-round right tackle, still learning the ropes. He had a gauntlet the first 3 weeks. Brian Burns, Max Crosby, and Micah Parsons. It's very tough for any rookie, and he's not Joe Alt. And so Jaden Daniels was throwing to guys like Chris Moore, Luke McCaffrey, Jalen Lane. Those guys can't separate on the outside. And the Cowboys and the Bears said, we're going to stack the box with 8 or 9 guys and go man-to-man and say, beat us on the outside. That's why we can't run the ball, can't move it through the ground. We have to rely on Jaden's magic and his talent. And there's only so much he can do. Against the Cowboys, in the 2-minute drill, he brought us to within 5 points. And then the defense let up a soft touchdown. The defense is the problem. Apparently, there's this rumor, I don't know how true this is, Joe Witt is playing this hybrid zone man scheme in the secondary instead of just going straight zone or straight man. I don't know if this is true, but if that's the case, that's why there's so much confusion in the secondary, so many big plays being given up. It's just atrocious right now.
Yeah,
And the defense needs to pick it up. And
yeah,
we've had the injury bug almost as bad as San Francisco. Um, just so many defensive guys going out and being injured.
yeah,
So, any thoughts?
yeah. I mean, listen, what's your record?
We're 3-4.
Okay, so under 500. So this doesn't surprise me, and the reason it doesn't surprise me because I predicted in the beginning of the year that the Commanders were going to take a little bit of a step back, and that's what's happening. And the reason is because this is how it goes. You know, that doesn't mean I think the Commanders are shit out of luck for the next 10 years, like the Sixers might be. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I mean, that actually looks pretty good. We're not talking about basketball right now. Edgecombe looks good. But I think that you have these years where, you know, you take the NFL by storm. The Commanders were back last year. They were back last year. You know, they looked like they did when they had RG3, you know, and they were back. But what happens is what's happening to the Eagles. They start to key in on your strengths and they start to crash down on your strengths because that's what NFL personnel does. That's what NFL coaches do. That's what front offices do. They spend an entire few months, an entire summer, an off season, right? An entire period of time really studying the offense. And that's what's happening. I think that as good as Jaden Daniels is, they're going to figure him out. Just like they did with Jalen Hurts the year after he had his MVP run, you know?
He was an MVP candidate. Did you
say
MVP?
There was a point where he was the front runner until
maybe for like a week or two.
Why did explain why he got knocked out of being a front runner?
Why? Because Mahomes had better stats.
No, because he got hurt.
One game? You said
hurt.
one game? No, yes. Mahomes had better stats.
Yes,
Mahomes was going to win that year.
No. We want to know why? Because not only was Jalen Hurts killing it in the air, he was killing it on the ground, and that's before they figured him out. He had broken Lamar's record for rushing touchdowns
with the touch push,
and that was. And that was an era where they weren't just it was an era where they were doing a whole lot of read options. It wasn't just push.
Okay, which year is that? 2022
was read option. Fake to Miles Sanders, boom to the Jalen Hurts, boom. He will get like 5 or 6 yards, run out of bounds. He did that I remember one drive he did that like the entire drive. Like,
is it 2022 or 23 that year?
It would have probably been 22.
22. Listen, I'm just going to read Mahomes' stats. 5,000 yards, 41 touchdowns. That's incredible.
What did he do on the ground?
Yeah, he's throwing it. He had 350 for 4 tutties.
Exactly.
45 total touchdowns. That's crazy.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you had Jalen Hurts breaking records on multiple facets, not just through the air. It's like you were looking at Patrick Mahomes, who was like, I wouldn't call him one-dimensional, but compared to Jalen Hurts, that year he definitely was. Because all he could do was throw. He could run a little bit, but it wasn't like a strong suit. It wasn't even a part of the Chiefs' game plan. It was just something he had to do to improvise sometimes. Yeah. But Jalen Hurts was such a multi-dimensional threat that they worked him into the game plan. Pass, run, pass, read option, pass. And it was so dynamic. Jalen Hurts got knocked out of the front running position for the MVP that year because he got hurt and Gardner Minshew had to play. I remember like it was yesterday. I called WIP. I literally was on the phone with them. And you want to know how Jalen Hurts proved that he was the MVP that year or a very strong candidate for MVP? As soon as he got hurt and Gardner Minshew had to play, the Eagles lost.
That's the case for any team with a good quarterback.
That's not true. Carson Wentz was good. Nick Foles definitely won the Super Bowl.
Nick Foles had elite roster. It was elite roster. Great defense.
Was it an elite roster? Was it?
You had Alshon Jeffrey.
They had like a half washed up Alshon Jeffrey.
Half washed up. This
he
man's
was retired the next year.
He still went off of the Pats that Super
Who's better, Alshon Jeffrey or AJ Brown?
Oh my! Of course, AJ Brown. Come on.
Right.
Why are you debating that? It's not like Alshon Jeffrey wasn't nice.
I'm not saying he wasn't nice, but he literally retired the next year. You act like he was like a spring chicken. Like,
listen, I'm looking at the stats. Hurts had 35 total touchdowns for the year, ground and passing. He had more rushing touchdowns the years after, 23 and 24, than the 22 year.
No, I'm saying it, but that year he broke records, and I think that was the main reason. He was breaking records like almost every week.
Okay, but he didn't win MVP.
He didn't win MVP because he got hurt. I truly believe that.
No, you can believe it. I don't believe that.
I truly believe it. I truly believe it. If he played, it was such a. I would like to transport you back to that time. It was such a tight race that like every game played. Like, I remember when it happened when Jalen got hurt. I remember it was like, bro, like this is gonna fuck up the MVP race because every game played was so crucial to the MVP race.
I mean, you are right. You are right in the fact that a game, and especially in a tight race, it matters. But
it mattered that year for sure.
Even if Hurts, okay, what's up?
No, I'm saying but regardless, I say all this to say that going back to the Commanders, I say all this to say that you're experiencing a little rough patch. You might not even make the playoffs this year, and that's okay.
I know. The Cowboys look better, but I gotta say, we don't have our top three receivers. Top three, no Terry, no Noah Brown, no Debo. That against the Cowboys.
Which I just picked up Terry on my fantasy, on one of my fantasies.
I did too. I'm like waiting for him to come back. What I would say is this: if we get our guys back, our receivers, I think we can make a push because Jaden is that special. He can operate that offense and win shootouts. The defense, obviously a big question mark, and it's very doubtful they can do anything. But you saw the Chiefs. They got their guys back, the receivers. Mahomes looks completely different. So what I'm saying is once Jaden gets his guys back, it's not his fault his guys are hurt. He's throwing to like Chris Moore. He's a guy you pulled off the practice squad.
Yeah.
I think we're fine. I will say this, Jaden, a little bit of accuracy issues. Maybe he's not throwing with anticipation because he's throwing at guys like Chris Moore.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay to you listen. Eventually, you have to, like, for example, when Jalen goes out there and plays like shit, I'm just like, he just looks like shit today. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone's allowed to have that. What kills me is that people act like quarterbacks have to be fucking perfect every game. They don't.
And I'm not saying that. I'm saying, and also the roster's in a 2-year rebuild, right? Ron Rivera, I hate you because you fucked this team up. You set this team back 20 years because of your draft picks. We don't have a single first-round draft pick from the Ron Rivera era, and it's all his fault, and I'm sorry we don't have any time. We are done. So like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry. I'm going to call you right after.
This is what happens. This is why we have to. All right.
Any closing thoughts, Jay, before we go?
Hey, man, go Birds, go Commanders, too. I'll give you that.
Oh, shit, okay. Thank you.
Fuck the Giants, honestly.
Fuck the Giants. That's a game we should have covered, but too much discussion.
Yeah.
Maybe we got to go over it tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah. All right, brother.
All right, bro. Peace.